Welcome back to the show, everybody. Today is obviously Tuesday, the 30th of September, 2025. The first news video I'm going to show you today is from Tracy O'Mahony. She's a barrister in Ireland, and she's basically going to break down the downfall of Ireland in real time. What is actually happening to this country in 2025?
So this is the current state of Ireland. Everybody knows there are tens and tens and tens of thousands of illegal economic migrants entering the country every year. They're getting on planes with passports, getting off planes without passports, and still being admitted into the country. Do you think you would be able to go to any other country and get into it without a passport? No, you wouldn't. You'd be thrown in jail. But instead, they're coming into this country, they're claiming asylum, they're having their applications rejected. And now what the current Minister for Justice, Jim O'Callaghan, with the approval of the government, has decided is that they're actually going to pay these people to leave the country. Instead of deporting them, they're going to ask them to voluntarily leave and pay them €10,000 per family. This is the current state of Ireland. We are a welfare state that is being overrun by the entire world, and now we're going to pay illegal economic migrants to leave the country. This is insane.
100%. You know, I've said before, people coming over from Syria and these third world countries, migrants, illegal, they aren't the ones destroying this country. You know, that's not actually the case. Some random guy from Zimbabwe or something that doesn't speak English arriving to Ireland on a plane is not the person that destroys Ireland. The person that destroys Ireland is the border control. You know, we're talking about Irish people that are just letting them in. And then we have our own Irish man, Minister for Justice, Jim O'Callaghan. He's saying we're going to pay these people €10,000. Now, these people flood the borders, guys. They flood into the country. Same as in the UK. They use 30 different aliases. We saw a man yesterday, Ahmed Maya Ahmed, a non-binary trans man who claimed he was 15 years old when in reality he's like 30 years old, and he's from Syria or Tunisia, one of these countries. Nobody knows. So what they're going to do is they're just going to come into the country multiple times under different names and then just claim €10,000, €10,000, €10,000, when all the border patrol should be doing in Ireland is just taking these people and putting them on a plane or a boat out of the country, straight back to the Middle East or Africa. Just plain and simple. There should be no two ways about it. I don't understand how €10,000 is an incentive to push people away, to leave the country. That's only going to have more people come to the shores. I mean, we're going to have 10 times the amount of people. Could you imagine? Like, and the first point she said as well, if we arrived to any border of any country in the world without a passport, we'd be thrown in jail. If you go to France without a passport on an Irish flight and you arrive there, they put you in jail. They put you in a jail cell, a holding cell. Here, you get a warm meal, a massage, you get a 5-star gourmet Gordon Ramsay meal, you get a flipping hotel, you get everything, while their own people are dying on the side of the road on a ditch. Crazy stuff. Imagine if you went to Australia or the USA without a passport. They'd probably think you're a terrorist. They'd probably put you in jail for 10 years. You know, this is the kind of crazy open borders thing that we have here. And it's not getting better. And I'm telling you right now, this is only our own people doing this. This would not be a problem. A lot of people, and me myself, I report on news stories every single day from illegal immigrants committing crimes and stuff like that, right? And that is a problem. 100% that's a problem, okay? We already have our own crime here. It's psychopaths running around. They chopped up some kid 10 years ago. We have gangs. We have fraud here. We have horrendous crime already in Ireland in 2025. But on top of it now, our own government, this liberal, woke, left-wing government, are letting in thousands of people. This is not immigrants letting in immigrants. That's not how it works, guys. This is illegals coming in, flooding the borders, and our own Irish people saying, hey, you look friendly. And they could be trained by Al-Qaeda to kill people. They could have already killed people in wars. And they're just let into the country to just run rampant on the city of Dublin and surrounding counties. Like, it's just like insanity. It's literally the most insane thing ever. There's going to be an imminent terrorist attack soon. There's massive terrorism on the horizon, and we're not doing anything about it. The next video here we have is from the presidential debate. I'm not going to talk about the presidential debate because I already reacted to it fully yesterday. Go check it out. It's members only video. All of my live streams now will be members only after the live stream. It's really interesting on the presidential campaign. He asked yesterday, Mr. Kieran Cuckoldry, he asked about the tricolors. Basically, what do the presidential candidates think about the tricolours lining up the streets of Dublin and the surrounding counties. And obviously I think it's great. It signifies patriotism and it signifies heritage and culture. But of course, a lot of traders in the Irish government hate it. In the mainstream media especially, they hate it because they're losing the narrative. They're losing the grip that they have on the Irish public. It's like the Great Awakening now. Everybody is being awoken to what's actually happening in the world. It's funny that the presidential candidates, they actually didn't care. They actually didn't say anything negative about the flag, which is kind of funny. For the most part, I think maybe Heather Humphreys or whatever, she said something negative, but everybody else was like, oh yeah, it's kind of good.
On your way here tonight, actually, you probably would have noticed tricolours, proliferation of tricolours around the country. I wish they were up celebrating kind of Kate O'Connor or boxers or cyclists or rowers or anybody else who've been successful in recent days from a sporting point of view. They're not. There's been a suggestion, Jim, that local authorities remove those tricolours. Yeah. The message therein being that Ireland is full, Ireland is for the Irish. Do you think they should remove them?
I'm very proud of our tricolours.
So what Kieran Cuckoldry says, he loads the question. So it's a loaded question. He says, Ireland is full, Ireland is for the Irish. And these are things that James Connolly said, I think. I think one of the great Irish patriots, the founders of the country, said, Ireland for the Irish, that kind of thing. Which, who else would the country be for unless you want a globalist society? Secondly, Ireland is full is sort of like this dog whistle that people always talk about. But what people mean when they say that is like there's not enough houses for people and our own people are suffering now because there's too many people coming in. It's plain and simple what it is. And that's kind of how it is, because that's just plain and simple how it is. Unless the EU or something wants to give us tons of money, because EU immigration isn't the worst thing in the world, I suppose. I probably wouldn't want 10 million Czechoslovakians coming to Ireland, though. I probably wouldn't want that either, right? Definitely wouldn't want that, okay? Or 20 million Polish. Like, it's all a numbers game at the end of the day. All that means is just that there's too many numbers. That's all. It's not that serious racist thing that everyone is crying about. You know, it's just like, come on.
Do you think they should remove them?
I'm very proud of our tricolour. I'm a proud Republican. You know, I believe in our country. I believe in the positive role that president can play. I believe in service to the state and service to the people. And our flag speaks to that. Our flag's about inclusion. The orange of one tradition and the green of another. In the middle is the inclusion and the equality. And that's what it speaks to. So when people put the flag up, that's what they're speaking to. Inclusion and equality. So I am very precious.
Should we remove that?
Having sworn allegiance to the state for 20 years with Friends for Us, I'm very precious about how the flag is used. And I'm not for extremes either to the right or to the left. So people need to be people have a right to put the flag where they want. And as you say, predominantly, we like to use it when we're celebrating. For me, that flag speaks to inclusion. And people have a right to put their flags where they so choose to do so.
Okay, so no, don't remove.
So, yeah, he gave kind of a good answer there. Like, he's saying that people can use it for whatever means that they want. And basically, if they were to remove those flags, guys, I mean, there would be hell to pay in Ireland. Like, that would cause, like, a civil war. If they were just en masse start pulling down Irish flags, like, that would be literally treason. Like, that would be a reason for treason, in my opinion. Because at that point, what you're basically saying to the Irish public is, you're not a united country anymore. Like, this isn't a country. This isn't a sovereign country. We own you. That's basically what they're saying at that point.
And leave them up regardless.
People need to be aware of what the symbol means. It means inclusion.
It does to you, but it does to you. But that's what it means to you, with all due respect, Jim. I mean, people are perfectly entitled to fly the tricolour and say, do you know what that means to me? It means that Ireland is full and asylum seekers need not apply.
No, that's what the left woke wing government are coming up with. These NGOs, they're creating a narrative to say that if you fly the Irish flag, that you're exclusionary, you're racist, you're this, you're that, you're a bigot. That's not the case at all. Flying your Irish flag, I've been flying those Irish flags for the last 2 years or something on YouTube, guys. That doesn't mean shit, guys. It's just where I'm from. It's just not that big of a deal, lads.
Perfectly entitled. Now, we can all agree it's an abhorrent view, but they think it.
It's not an abhorrent view. People are just doing it, people on the right are doing it, because the woke left hate it. It's hilarious to see the woke left and Kieran Cuckoldry just dying on the inside when they see things like this being happening. I don't know how these men get through the day. I don't really classify Kieran Cuckoldry as a man, to be perfectly honest. I mean, he is a bitch, to be perfectly honest.
Doesn't just mean that to me. That's what the Constitution speaks to, about its inclusion. It's equality. That's what our flag is about. And it's a powerful symbol.
Heather?
I actually like that. Like, I really like that. Now, the rest of the two women doesn't really matter. But yeah, that was great that Jim Gavin actually confronted him about that. A lot of people didn't pick up on that. Like I said, I'm not going to vote for anybody. I'm probably going to vote for Maria Steen still. We love Maria Steen. You know, Maria Steen and the husband, of course the left wing, of course the woke hate them. You know, I have this picture that I show all the time. Of course they hate them. You know, the husband looks like James Bond, you know, Pierce Brosnan, Irish James Bond, my favorite James Bond, Pierce Brosnan. He looks like a flippin' rugged man. He looked devilishly handsome. And then you have Maria Steen, who looks like a damn supermodel. Looks like James Bond's supermodel in the movies. You know, and they're a couple, and they're barristers, and they're rich, and they're famous, and they're good looking. Of course the woke lefties hate them. Of course the blue hair, ring in the nose, obese, woke lefties hate them. Of course they do. Of course, guys. It's pure projection. We have another couple of videos as well to finish off how the British police are getting worse and worse every day, arresting people. I believe it's 30 people a day for social media posts, talking about different subjects on the internet. They're getting arrested and put in jail for this.
To a post questioning why, you wrote, "Because they're over here, given life of Riley, off the tax us hard-working people earn, when it could be put to better use. Come over here, with no work visa, no trade to their name, and sit down and doss."
I believe that entirely. That's entirely, that's what's happening. So he said they're coming over here, life of Riley, off the tax working people. So like British people are paying for these immigrants to come here, to live off them, to live in these IPAS centers, these refugee centers. And then on top of it, they're losing their rights as well. They have to do these digital ID cards because now they don't know who's working in the UK. But the reason they need these digital ID cards is because it's a failure of controlling who's who and where's where and who's working where. So you, innocent, good, working, hardworking people of England, lose your rights because of what criminals are doing now.
With no work visa, no trade to their name, and sit down and doss. And then there's more people being put out homeless each year.
Sure.
They get top band priority on housing. You went on to say that you did not want your money going to immigrants who, quote, rape our kids and get priority, end quote.
So obviously, you know, you can't say that everyone is sexually assaulting people and that kind of stuff, but there are absolutely criminal cases of that. So it's not like it's not factual, it is factual.
End quote. Although you said that you had no intention of carrying out any act of violence, there can be no doubt that you were inciting others to do so. Otherwise, why post the comment?
So I would say that they're not inciting people to do that, to harm people. I would never tell anyone to do that. But they're just stating a fact that there's definitely a problem with the system. You know, definitely threatening people or anything like that, you can go to jail for that. That's not advisable. But just saying that there's a problem, absolutely, that is true, guys.
You expressed remorse, but by that time it was too late. For the offence of publishing written material in order to stir up racial hatred, there are sentencing guidelines which I must and will follow. The maximum sentence is 7 years imprisonment.
Oh my God.
In my judgment, this comes close to harm category 1. However, for the purposes of this sentence, I will treat you as falling into category 2, since there was no direct encouragement towards activity which threatens or endangers life.
They're going to still process him? Oh my, England is cooked. England's the worst country in the world. I will never go there probably ever again or live there ever. That's a dangerous country.
Towards activity which threatens or endangers life. However, you fall towards the top of category 2. For a category 2A offence, the starting point is 2 years imprisonment with a range between 1 and 4 years custody.
So he went to jail for 2 years for posting that they're living off the taxpayers' back. Yeah, that is absolute crazy stuff. I mean, England is cooked, guys. And like I said, that's soon to be here in Ireland. All the Irish people watching, I hope you're taking notes. It's gonna come here soon. So this is an interesting video. This is a protest against the far right, talking about racism. Let's see exactly the point of racism and how racist the UK is. because apparently there's systemic racism everywhere in the world now.
What racism do you see in the country?
At my school, my high school.
Oh, you got racism in your high school?
I see it sometimes, yeah.
Shit, okay. Have you got an example?
No.
You see racism, but you've not got an example?
No.
So do you see racism, but you can't give me an example?
No.
And what do you expect to achieve out of today?
Any racism?
Okay. And what racism have you seen?
In school.
Have you got an example?
No.
All right, mate. You was awesome. What race?
You're awesome. Oh my days. Absolutely insanity, guys. Let me know your thoughts. I was going to say, I don't have to say anything about that, guys. Let me know your thoughts. If you want to support me, hit the join link underneath the video. We have 30 members now for just €3 a month. Can help push back against the woke, liberal, mainstream media that is in Ireland and abroad. And I'll see you guys all in the next one, man. Peace.